as we get set to bring you our final broadcast of the evening here at the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. It's the men's final as we get set to kick off between Caledon United FC and Gloucester Celtic. My name's Nico Cardarelli. I am your play-by-play commentator for tonight's proceedings, and we've been treated to three fabulous matches so far today here at the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. No reason to expect anything different here in the men's final. And just like our last two previous matches, this match, the winner, will go on to the national championships to represent the province as we get set to welcome both teams to the pitch. The MilkUP Ontario Cup, the provincial championship for the LTPD Soccer for Life stream, is the largest club competition of its kind in Canada. As one of the oldest and most prestigious amateur sporting events in the country, the Ontario Cup was first staged in 1901 and has operated continuously since, with the exception of the World War II period and during the global pandemic in 2020. The MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022 marks the 106th year of the competition and celebrates the arrival of Dairy Farmers of Ontario, the marketing group representing Ontario dairy farmers and the largest sector of Ontario agriculture, as the new title partner. The Ontario Cup has reclaimed its pre-pandemic glory in 2022 as the 106th edition of this Soccer for Life competition has played out safely across the province with thousands of participants. After an amazing summer of competition, the MilkUP Ontario Cup finals are now set. What began with nearly 500 teams has been whittled down to the last 28, with each vying for Ontario Cup glory over the first two weekends in September. To add to the excitement of this storied competition, the MilkUP Ontario Cup champions in the U15, 17, and adult divisions will once again get to fly their provincial flag at the national championships in October, after this event had to be cancelled due to pandemic restrictions in 2021. The announcing the lineups for both team at field level, and it'll be Gloucester Celtic wearing the Celtic traditional kits, green and white striped. Green on the back, white numbers, white shorts, and striped socks. And Caledon wearing the black kits, a little bit of ashy, a little bit of red into it, but a predominantly black and red kit, white numbers on their backs. As Caledon has already claimed one Ontario Cup title this weekend here at the MilkUP Ontario Cup in the U17 girls division, where the Caledon women won on kicks from the penalty spot with some tremendous goalkeeping from Maria Atrash. And now they'll be looking for their second title here on the day in the men's division. Or will it be Gloucester Celtic, as they look to win their fourth title in 9 years? Just phenomenal what they've put together over the past decade. And I think if they were to pull that off today, you can start talking about dynasty territory with this Gloucester Celtic squad. Now getting announced, the Caledon squad. They've got a focal dugout, and they'll try cheer their guys on here.
Wearing number 7, Cameron Medwin. Wearing number 8, Nordo Gooden. Wearing number 10, Saya Reed.
A reminder that we are back at it next weekend, Saturday, September 17th with 4 matches, Sunday, September 18th with 2 more finals. And that'll wrap up the action here at the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Some tremendous action yesterday. Today has lived up to the hype, that's for sure. With, even the morning game, the U13 boys, that was an actually incredible match. Back and forth, lots of goals. Then the U17 girls. Wow, that was a real stunning match as well. And then the U17 boys that went to penalties. Glenn Shields, Juventus FC getting the win. And now we wrap up here tonight on a beautiful night in Vaughan, Ontario, just north of the city of Toronto. The sun starting to set here, and certainly by the second half kickoff shouldn't be a factor It's a pretty calm, beautiful condition tonight here for this match. Just a little bit of breeze.
Assistant referee,
Pretty much pristine playing conditions for this men's final at the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022.
And the special guest witness this evening representing Ontario Soccer, Mr. Peter McPherson, President.
Ontario Soccer President Peter Agruso making his way out to welcome the teams, wish them the best of luck, and of course our thoughts and condolences with the Agruso family after the tough stretch they're going through. Nothing like soccer family to help heal some difficult wounds, and frankly, it's really tremendous to see our president of Ontario Soccer, Peter Agruso, here this weekend and participating in the on-field festivities. Well, folks, we're going to have a moment of silence in memory of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, followed by the playing of our national anthem.
Elizabeth II, followed by the playing of our national anthem.
It's Gloucester Celtic, it's Caledon United FC in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Kickoff coming up next. New this year, the Dairy Farmers of Ontario, representing Ontario's 3,400 dairy producers and their families, has joined Ontario Soccer as a premier partner and the exclusive title partner of the MilkUP Ontario Cup. This collaboration with Ontario Soccer will bring positive outcomes to youth sports across the province. Keep your eyes on OntarioSoccer.net, where the deserving 2022 MilkUP future leaders will be announced soon. And we get set to announce the proceedings here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Gloucester Celtic looking for their fourth title in 9 years, taking on Caledon United FC as Caledon look for their second Ontario Cup victory of the day after clinching the championship in the girls U17. Both teams prepare to take the pitch, as it looks like it'll be Corey Harrington getting the start in goal for Gloucester. I believe it's going to be Matthew Grant in goal for Caledon. My name's Nico Cardarelli on the commentary of today's match. Thank you for tuning in as we're coming to you live from the Ontario Soccer Centre Stadium on the main field under the big lights on the night stage. It's the men's final here at the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Match officials prepare the squads. David Barry, esteemed referee, will be the man in the middle for this match. So you can expect open play, but also tight control. Barry, one of the top officials in the province, and great to have him in the middle here for this one. As Gloucester Celtic will get set to defend the goal to our broadcast left. They'll be working left to right across your screens. And Caledon will defend the goal to our right. Matthew Grant takes up the position between the sticks. Gloucester Celtic looking like they're going to roll out a 4-3-2-1 most likely here. Kind of wing plays up top. Could shift into a 4-3-3. Caledon favoring two big center backs in the middle. And then the ability for the wing backs to roam. So it could be anything from a 4-3-3 to a shifting formation as we kick off here. And with Hub International Insurance Brokers presenting our broadcast, we have a partner today to support us as we prepare for tomorrow and who'll help protect what matters most when we get there. Because the truth is, tomorrow is a gift and Hub wants us to be ready for it. Find out more at hubinternational.com. So Gloucester Celtic take possession and they look for a long ball up the pitch as heading that one on nicely was Brian, and then challenged and knocked out of play after it was on the foot of Joey Kuhn. Kuhn, you'll remember from the last time Celtic won the Ontario Cup final pre-pandemic, he was huge in their victory over Diavoli. He scored a couple of just tremendous goals. And Kuhn once again will be the man up front to threaten for Celtic as the long throw-in comes into the penalty area, headed away. Loose ball flicked on there by Masuta, but now it'll track out in a throw-in here for Gloucester. Taken quickly by Julian Piccoli. Thought about quick, now he throws it in. Piccoli gets it right back. Takes a bit of a push on the back, fights through it, and it's once again a throw for Gloucester Celtic. As they come to us from the Ottawa region, and again, they've just been dominant, well, on the verge of dominance anyways over the past decade. 3 titles in the past 8 years as Kuhn looking for a call, but nothing doing. And now it'll be turned over by Caledon as unable to hold possession there was Masuta, and now it pops out to Piccoli. He plays it back, and it'll be controlled here by Stojanovic as he touches that one into the middle. Yoseki had a man on his back, so he had to quickly lay it off to Stojanovic, who now looks for a man making the run. Piccoli takes it down, drops it back. Butterfield looks for an option. They play it back, and it'll be controlled by Stojanovic. He feeds the ball ahead. Nice flick on there by Brian, but unable to hold it in. It's out for a Caledon throw-in. Latham Brown, he'll opt to leave it for Tariq Robertson. And Robertson's going to have to push back closer to the corner as this throw comes deep in the Caledon defensive third. Robertson trying to get some movement off the ball. Long toss. Flicked on there by Reed. But it'll be controlled calmly now by Sanders for Celtic. Again, just some steadfast names there if you followed this Celtic team. And the aforementioned Kieran Sanders, again, a big part of their last Ontario Cup victory. As you're tuned into the MilkUP Ontario Cup men's final. Early in the match, rolling into the 4th minute, scoreless. Neither team really degenerate yet, but confident, calm possession from both squads. It's now Celtic, try and move it out from the back line. Stojanovic received the pass, takes the space in front of him, looks for an option up the pitch, plays it short as it's controlled by Butterfield. He lays it off, picked up by Oseki. He's got a man on his back, so he dishes that to Butterfield. Butterfield had an overlapping option in Piccoli, but opts to play it back. Yoseki, he'll return it to the right back, Milos Stojanovic, who in turn goes back to Yoseki. The two exchange possession. Man in the middle in Kuhn, but they couldn't hit him. Now they'll try, and he picks it up, but he's immediately closed down by Gooden, and the ball taken away by Caledon. As Robertson steps up, makes the pass, controlled by Smith, but his ball turned over. Stojanovic looking for options as he carries it forward, closed down. his pass blocked, and then he gets a bit of a chop in late. And Quante Smith takes the knock and receives a free kick for Caledon. So if we wanted to be truly traditionalist, we could call it Celtic versus United here, as Caledon United FC prepare to take the free kick and Gloucester Celtic set to defend. Badonas thought about taking it long, plays it short, exchanges possession there with Smith, and now it finds its way over to Robertson. He's got room to make a decision, and he decides to carry it up the line, working off the hit from Kewen, crosses it in on target, and Harrington made easy work of that, as that never really challenged the veteran keeper for Celtic. They work it out from the back line, playing it ahead for Yoseki. Laying it off, as that was the big boot of Adam Davies into the ball, and now Yoseki plays it down. Nice work to get it over for Brian. He's got a man on his back, so he plays it back, and Davies takes possession. Check close there on Kieran Sanders. He did well to make the play, and Celtic do well to hold possession. Now they'll look to switch to the near side, and that'll give Piccoli time to run onto this. He's got space, he's got a man, and he feeds it ahead for Butterfield. Butterfield crosses that in. Far post, the defender did well to get a touch on it, but top of the 18 where Celtic have it. Loop back in, diving header attempt by Brian, more like lunging header attempt, but dealt with well defensively by Stavros Badonas for the clearance. As Caledon sustain the pressure, and they've got Celtic back in possession at the half line. Switching to the near side as Davies lays it off. Butterfield tried to hit the man making the run in Brian, but that's turned over. Nice job by Masuta. And now Yoseki takes control. Yoseki, after getting the pass back from Sanders. Sanders loops that one in. Kewen running onto it, tries to turn goal side, but can never quite control the ball. And it's out for a goal kick. Good start to the match. Celtic certainly dominating in possession early, at least in terms of attacking time. As Caledon now move the ball out through the midfield. Cameron Medwin plays that on to the touchline where it's pulled back and held by Panino. Michael Panino looks for a man making the run. Trying to track it down was Latham Brown, but it's controlled here by Saunders. Stepped up, Celtic take possession. Sanders gets it back, tries to evade the challenge, but gets a bit of a touch in on Masuta before he lays it off to his right back, who almost coughed that one up, but a good recovery that time by David to keep the ball in. David steps up once again for Caledon, knocks it forward, but only as far as his numerical counterpart in Stojanovic. As Gloucester Celtic switch to the near side, and Julian Piccoli has time and space, but here he'll just lay off for Stojanovic. Stojanovic looking for options. Kewen was checking too. He opts to try pick out Bryant on the run, but that's intercepted by Robertson. And now Smith has it at midfield for Caledon. They look to get something going on the far flank. David steps up to take control. He's got a man out wide. He pulls back and now lays off for Panino. Panino over to Smith, who sustained that knock a little bit earlier, but he's clearly shaking it off, and he's playing well in the midfield for Caledon. As David controls, draws back, Panino, and it's picked up by Medwin. Masuta draws back for Renzima. Masuta tried to get the return pass from Robertson, but that's picked off, and now Celtic look to break out on the counter. Brian heads it on. This could be a chance. Kewen running onto it. Joey Kewen in all alone. Left-footed strike, and he puts Gloucester Celtic up 1-0 here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. In their bid for 4 titles in 9 years, it's Joey Kewen who opens up the scoring in the 9th minute of action. What a play on the aerial flick on by Bezic of Rare as he elevated through the air Actually, check that. It was Andrew Bryan who made the flick on play. Bryan getting to the ball. That slightest touch of a header was able to open up the lane for Kewen, and then he was all alone. Grant came off his line to challenge, but we've seen Joey Kewen punish many a keeper when he goes in uncontested. And here he opens the scoring inside of 10 minutes for Gloucester Celtic.
Number 12, Joey Kewen.
Panino tries to respond now for Caledon as they work the ball out wide. David crosses in, headed away by Stojanovic. Caledon able to retain possession on the shoulder hit as Medwin takes control. Medwin cuts in, leaves it for Panino. He looks for a through ball but can't thread the needle. The clearance from Gloucester picked off by Robertson, but it's seen through and picked up here by Butterfield. Butterfield goes back to Piccoli, who in turn just clears that one out to the half. Nice deep ball by Badunas. He had Reed running onto it, but he could never quite pull it down. And now it's picked up by Avrer. And you know what? I think it was Avrer who may have gotten that flick on. Tough to say, but it was an incredible assist on the goal for Kewen. As it's controlled here by Butterfield. He draws back. Yoseki. Saunders tries to switch the pitch. Nothing doing there. As it's controlled now by Latham Brown. He lays that one back for Piccini. Panino. And then a foul called here against the Gloucester veteran Sanders, who commits the foul and gives up the free kick. Drawer David gets set to take the free kick. He plays it short, and it's controlled by Medwin, who in turn touches it over to Badunas. He plays that one forward, but out of the reach of the extended Smith. And now it's controlled by Celtic as Yoseki gets the return pass from Sanders, and now it's touched over to Piccoli. Piccoli draws back for Stojanovic, who in turn plays out wide. As the touch made there by Bikamumpaka. And now it's Avrer looking to service one into Kewen. Oh, hard hit on the back of Kewen. No call. Kewen pops back up. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. You could definitely see the forearm of Badunas lead towards Kewen, but Kewen may have fooled me on that one. David Barry wasn't having any of it, that's for sure. And play continues on with possession for Caledon, but pressing to close down is Andrew Bryan. And now it's controlled by Panino. Panino supplies a good ball up the line. David running onto it, but defensively, Bikamumpaka there for Celtic, and he does well to keep it out of danger. Nearly turned over. Slide tackle attempt by Latham Brown, and that's out for a goal kick. So good work by the Gloucester backline, anchored by Karl Bikamumpaka and Milos Stojanovic. Harrington plays it short to Stojanovic. Yoseki. Good touch forward for Kewen. He tries to flick on and making the run for the team in green was Butterfield, but he was bodied off the ball, and now it's back to the Caledon keeper, Matthew Grant. He puts his right foot through it, and the physical play picking up on those aerial challenges as now Avrer has it, supplies the through ball. Kewen trying to run onto it, but couldn't quite catch the pace of it. David with a good slide tackle sees it through to Latham Brown, who in turn boots that one up the pitch, but it'll be controlled by Bikamumpaka. And now Sanders takes it for Celtic. Davies, Bikamumpaka, Sanders looking to switch things up. He actually touches into the middle for Yoseki, who then in turn goes back to the keeper, Harrington. Bikamumpaka, Sanders, Bikamumpaka. Davies, Bikamumpaka. Celtic are content to control this kind of possession and dictate the pace of the match the way they are right now. This certainly bodes well for them. They just have to be crisp, and that pass by Rivera a little bit off the mark. So it's out for a Caledon throw-in. Gloucester Celtic 1, Caledon United FC 0 as we're into the 14th minute of action here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. A spot at national championships on the line here in the men's division as the ball caught there along the touchline by Andrew Bryan. He pulls it back for Avrer. Avrer looking for options. Opts to tee one up with the right foot, but that one a little too strong as it's over top the goal harmlessly and out for a goal kick. Chance for us to remind you that Toronto FC is the official founding premier partner of Ontario soccer, as well as the co-presenting partner of its talented pathway. Their commitment to the game in Ontario is unrivaled. Visit torontofc.com for tickets and more. Grant takes the goal kick, and it'll find its way out of touch for a Celtic throw-in. Julian Piccoli tosses it back to Stojanovic. Bikamumpaka. Over to Davies. Avrer. Back to Davies. He has to play that one forward. Kewen tries to win the aerial challenge, but it's defended well by Rinzema. And now it'll be controlled here by Bryan into the attacking third. He draws it back for Avrer. Yoseki. Avrer. Tight to the touchline. He plays in for Yoseki. He's got Sanders with him. Touches it to the open man, and Sanders now looks for an option up the pitch. Checking towards it was Butterfield. He lays it back for Sanders. Right-footed ball to pick out Yoseki. Nice weight. There's a volley, and that one just dipped wide of the far post. Chance for a player to run onto it, but no one there in terms of Kewen being the closest player in green. But Yoseki teeing one up there from range, and it was nearly a threatening opportunity. Impressed with the play of Novello Yoseki so far in this match for Gloucester Celtic, as he has patrolled the midfield with a presence, and there he tried to make an impact with an offensive strike. Grant. Sanders wins that aerial challenge. Now it's controlled by Badanas. He felt like there was a foul on his back. The ball went back to his keeper, Barry, the match official, controlling things here and allowing the men to play on. Stojanovic steps up to get ahead there, ahead of Reed, and now it's controlled by Masuta. He lays that for Medwin. Tries to switch out wide for Latham Brown. Good vision, but he couldn't quite curl the run. And the attacker for Caledon called offside. Adam Davies on the turf right now for Gloucester, but more of an equipment issue there than an injury as he relaces his boot. A little bit of head games here between the keeper Harrington, who's come all the way out, and now Latham Brown, who kicks the ball back. And like a veteran match official does, referee Barry slows things down, and we'll restart with the free kick here for Gloucester to be taken by Bikamumpaka as he puts the foot through the ball. Avrer gets a bit of a touch in, nothing doing as Medwin takes control for Caledon. Penino tries to pick out Latham Brown, making the run. Davies there defensively. He falls to turf, nothing doing as he tries to get up with possession, and he does so. Latham Brown unable to poke it free. As Avrer got tackled hard, but that was all ball, and he went flying. Now Caledon try to counter as in an offside position is Reed, so that'll be called and put an end to the back and forth sequence in the last few moments. Bikamumpaka plays it short for Sanders as Gloucester get a couple of reserves off the bench and starting to warm up. Sanders Good long ball, but Brian unable to catch it. It's headed away by the defensive effort of Badanas. And now Sanders has it once again for Celtic. He lays that one off for Rare. Tries to turn inside, opts to switch to the near flank. Hustling to it is Butterfield. He's got Piccoli on the overlap, but he cuts his way into the middle. Yoseki touches that off for Sanders. He's closed down, so he has to go back to Yoseki. And now Stojanovic will play it over to Bikamumpaka. He's got time and space in front of him, started to charge up, then pulled back for Davies, and now it's controlled by Stojanovic. Gloucester Celtic content with this type of possession and control as Yoseki gets tripped up, and that'll be a free kick on the foul against Smith. Yoseki thought about taking it quickly. Now he'll receive it from Stojanovic as it's played ahead, only to be drawn back for Yoseki. Stojanovic. 20th minute of action as Celtic lead 1-0. And now it's controlled by Butterfield. He steps in from the touchline. Kewen, who's got the goal in the match, lays that back for Yoseki. Switches it to Sanders, who's dropped back into the center back position to cover Bikamumpaka, who had started to drift up. And now working in from the far touchline, Rare looking for an option. Drops that one to Sanders. As Kieran Sanders takes the space in front of him, now he makes the pass ahead. Bouncing ball, Butterfield tried to volley it, but lacked the accuracy needed to test the keeper as that one went well wide for a goal kick. Lots of communication happening down pitch side as the teams working through the ebbs and flows of the match. Caledon showing a little bit of frustration, understandably so, trailing here 1-0. 21st minute of action as you're tuned into the men's final at the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Gloucester Celtic, they have the lead and they have the ball in attack mode, but Yoseki can't control after the pass from Butterfield. Check that, it was Butterfield receiving the pass from Yoseki, couldn't control. And now Caledon battling for it, but Butterfield, he gets clipped, and that'll be a free kick for Gloucester. Taken short back to Bikamumpaka as Sanders returns control after the center back gave it to him. Kewen checks two, gets away from the initial challenge. A third player comes in to close him down, and Smith comes away with it. Latham Brown turning out wide, trying to turn on the Jets now as he takes Davies on. Slide tackle by Bikamumpaka, timed beautifully to take the ball away, and that puts an end to the break for Latham Brown. Rare transitioning here for Celtic. Dancing over top the ball, now he slows it down and looks to make a pass back for Kewen, who got caught late. Nothing doing, though, as Caledon have possession. Panino. Laid off by Medwin. Controlled here by Robertson. Medwin. Panino. Latham Brown. He looks to turn and start an attack. Sends the ball forward, but a bit of a miss hit on the delivery. Now David thought he was off on a break, but a handball called against the Caledon player. And Gloucester take a quick free kick as Sanders looks to switch to the near flank, only to have Piccoli play it back to Stojanovic. Yoseki, Sanders. As Sanders takes it across the half line and now touches it out wide for Davies. He's got room to control here, maybe playing a cross in, but instead of forcing, he pulls back for Bikamumpaka. Bikamumpaka steps that off to Sanders as the methodical build-up here from Celtic, opening up an option in Piccoli. He lays it over to Butterfield, challenged, but Yoseki, he gets clipped, and that'll be a free kick for Gloucester. Likely too far out for an attempt on target, but certainly in a range where they can play across into the penalty area and threaten for something through the air. We'll see if they take a long one or a short one. Yoseki staying close as a short option. And now he marches away as Sanders gets set to play it in. Right-footed cross towards the penalty spot. It dipped just out of the reach of Stojanovic. Although Medwin makes a meal of the clearance, Kewin steps over the ball, looks for the pass over to Brian, who touches that beautifully. That was an incredible shot as Brian was sliding down, and with his inside foot, he curled that at an angle to keep it on target. A relatively easy save by Grant with him being in position. But what an athletic play there to even generate that shot from that angle. As Kewin all over the back of the Caledon player Smith, and an easy call there for the match official David Barry, and it'll be a free kick for Caledon. Gloucester Celtic leading 1-0 over Caledon United FC as you're tuned in to the men's final at the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Smith, Badanas, tries to needle it through. It's blocked by Sanders. He does well to get around the challenge of Badanas. Checking back. We'll see. I think he's offside. Yes, he is. As Andrew Bryan tried to curl back, but just couldn't quite get in position in time. So the free kick for Caledon, they take it quickly as Badanas plays it over to Medwin. Cameron Medwin delivers a long ball intended for the attacker Reed to run onto. Harrington cleared it, but only as far as Latham Brown, who tries to catch the keeper off his line. A bit of a mistake by the experienced keeper Harrington, and moments later it's in the back of his net, as finishing it off was Saja Reed for Caledon, and they equalize in the 26th minute. A great ball played in by Julian Latham Brown, and Reed finishes it off with the header. Harrington was back in position, but you could tell he was never set. He never had his feet set. He was jumpy and a little bit scrambly. And on what he would normally make a save 99 times out of 100 on, because that wasn't an especially powerful header, it was well placed. But the header evades the veteran keeper Harrington, and you could see his reaction as he immediately punted the ball out in frustration, knowing that he should have handled the previous sequence better. So Celtic give up the goal, and now they'll make a couple substitutions as Asabre gets set to come into the match in place of Kewin. And we'll also get our first look this year at Justin Dasa, as Dasa came up big in their last Ontario Cup final, and they may need the veteran to supply some magic once again, as we are now square 1-1 here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. What a response by Caledon United FC, making the most of the miscue by the keeper Harrington, and well, they took full advantage on that header by Reed. Saja Reed getting the goal on that brilliant cross by Latham Brown. And now they're pressing once again as they send Masuta up the line for a run, but he couldn't quite keep the ball in play. And it's out for a Celtic throw. Piccoli tosses that one back. Stojanovic over to Bikamumpaka. Davies. Oh, hard slide tackle. That's going to be a call against David, and taking the brunt of that was Bezic Avere. And Avere able to get back to his feet after that hard tackle. And Celtic take the free kick short. Quick touch passing. It's back to Avere, who in turn goes to Yoseki. Stojanovic, Piccoli. First touch of the ball here for Asabre as he lays into the middle for Dasa. Piccoli, Stojanovic, Bikamumpaka. Looking to press up now, but he keeps it short for Davies. Davies closed down, gives the ball away. Medwin stepping up for the interception. Reed, who's got the equalizer for Caledon, ends up coughing it up, and now Yoseki takes it for Celtic. He evades the sliding challenge and tracks over to the far touchline. Bit of a mistouch there, but he's able to corral it against David and looks for an option in. Tees up the cross, but that's blocked by David and out for a Celtic throw. 29th minute of play. We're all square 1-1 here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. After that equalizer headed home by Reed, after Joey Kewen opened up the scoring for Celtic. Piccoli plays a ball in on goal. Ooh, Grant had to be careful. He scrambles back to make the save, but it's out for a corner. After the challenge on the keeper came from Andrew Bryan, he tried to flick on. And Grant certainly took a bit of a knock there in making the save. He's a little bit slow to get up. Caledon not loving that the result here of the play is a corner kick and not a foul against their keeper Grant, who continues to labor a little bit.
Past the water. We're not supposed to be throwing the water over here. Right here. Why didn't see that? But I don't want to see it.
No indication yet from the Caledon bench in terms of a reserve keeper. Although I do see one unnumbered player starting to put some shin pads on. And yes, the backup keeper is starting to get dressed just in case. But it looks like Grant is going to be able to shake this off. And he'll get set to continue to 10 goal here for Caledon as Celtic take the corner. Butterfield setting up for the outswinger, delivers the cross in, headed away by Medwin, only as far as Bikamumpaka. Bikamumpaka lays off, intended for Dasa, but that's turned over, and now Caledon have it with Musada. As Masuda plays it ahead, Davies goes back to his keeper, Harrington, who this time picks out his center back, Stojanovic. Dasa, Piccoli. He's got Dasa in the middle, and he's got Osprey on the near side, but they work it now over to Butterfield by way of Dasa. Piccoli keeps it in along the line. Osprey tries to tries to spin off the challenge, but he then commits a foul in trying to get possession back in a free kick here for Caledon. The Canadian Premier League, on behalf of its Ontario-based member clubs, Forge FC United, York United FC, and Atletico Ottawa, are now premier partners of Ontario Soccer and co-presenting partners of the Talented Pathway. For updates and more information, please go to canpl.ca. Medwin takes it for Caledon. He's closed down by a couple of Celtic players, and they're able to clear the ball as far as Yoseki. Davies punts it forward. Quickly, it's responded back by Rinzema. And now it's out through half, where Reed, with a bit of a push on the back of the Celtic player, committing the foul, and a free kick for Gloucester. They take it short, they take it quick, as Yoseki leaves it off for Davies. Bikamumpaka, Stojanovic. A little bit of movement off the ball as he picks out Asabre on the near touchline. He feeds one ahead for Butterfield, tracks well. Butterfield trying to take the defender on. It pops out to Asabre. Left-footed cross to the far post, but off a Caledon player and out for a corner kick. So good pressure there from Celtic, led by Cameron Butterfield and Kelvin Asabre. And now it'll be Butterfield tracking to the far corner to take the corner kick. Rolling into the 33rd minute of play. We're all square 1-1 here in the men's final as you're tuned in to the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Butterfield setting up for an in-swinger. Celtic piling players in. Some pressure off the ball. Nothing doing as there's a shot from distance off the foot of Bikamumpaka, but blocked fearlessly. And now Yoseki shields it out for a throw-in as Celtic get possession here. Bikamumpaka telling his teammate to slow it down, settle it down, as they want to keep control here and play smart. Yoseki. Again, a lot at stake in this match as the winning squad will go on to represent the province of Ontario at the national championships in October. And from the perspective of Gloucester Celtic, they're looking for their fourth Ontario Cup, MilkUP Ontario Cup men's title in the past 9 years. Whereas Caledon, as a club, are hoping to claim their second of the day. Substitutions come in here as Caledon will be bringing in Jordan Piccini excuse me, Piccanini, as he'll replace Amrit Paul Masuta. Masuta had a strong performance here in the opening 34 minutes of match play as he patrolled the flank and was solid through the midfield for Caledon, but now he gives way to the aforementioned Piccanini. Piccoli, Asabre, Yoseki, Piccoli, he'll play that back for Stojanovic. Takes the space in front of him, slows it down, now plays a ball towards the penalty area. Asabre, he fights through an aerial challenge where he took a good clattering from Robertson, but nothing doing. And now Yoseki takes possession for Celtic. Tries to turn his man inside out, and he gets around him initially, and now he plays it ahead for Yoseki. Excuse me, that's Asabre. His cross into the penalty area. A strong push off there by Andrew Bryan. He complains that he was having his jersey held, so he had to push off, but in the end, if there was an initial infraction, the retaliation certainly caught and whistled down for a free kick in favor of Caledon. Matthew Grant, after taking that knock maybe about 10 minutes ago, seemingly have shaken it off and doing well between the sticks for Caledon, is, well, on that free kick, looked like he pulled up a little, but I'm sure he's going to battle through any little stingers. Dasa plays it back to Piccoli. Piccoli thought about feeding it ahead for Asabre, but ended up laying it off for Stojanovic, who now plays it to Bikamumpaka. Feeds it up the far flank as Avrer took a bit of a knock after delivering the ball to Davies. And both teams starting to show some physicality here and a little bit of frustration too, as it's picked up now by Panino. Nice job by Reed to lay it off. Panino receiving the pass, now lays it into the middle for Smith, as Pickanin was there as well. Pickanin now runs onto it for Caledon. Pickanin takes it at the top of the 18, tries to draw to his right foot, lays it for Medwin. He's met by the challenge. Nothing doing there as Stojanovic just held his ground, and Medwin, who stays on the ground, will get the call in terms of player safety. One of the Caledon players arguing for a penalty, but I think Medwin will be able to shake this one off. He met the brick wall of Stojanovic there. But now you can see Medwin back to his feet appealing for a call, but more importantly for Caledon and their squad, good to see Medwin back on his feet and able to shake off any hit there. Now Medwin's going to have to come off the pitch for a moment. We'll see if they make a substitution or if he'll just pop back on. I think he'll likely just quickly flip back into the field of play once he's given the green light from the fourth. And in the meantime, we'll restart with a drop ball as Bikamumpaka takes it for Celtic. He lays it off for Stojanovic. And now it's to the far side where Davies takes control. Medwin indeed does play on, and now he is in the midfield position where it's taken away. Nice job by Panino as Caledon try to mount an attack here. Panino, his through ball blocked, still challenges for it against Stojanovic. He's got the advantage. Now he gets clapped from behind, and Panino's got to watch himself. That was two hard fouls on the back of Stojanovic. And if he continues to do that, he could find himself being cautioned before too long. But a free kick for Celtic. They take it short. Yoseki to Dasa. And now Yoseki plays it over to Davies. His touch ahead as of rare. Checks off the man and plays it back to Davies. Yoseki. You just feel like Celtic are content to maintain this kind of control and possession. And as long as they don't trail in the match, it feels like they have the confidence where they can potentially strike any moment they want, but they're not going to make foolish decisions and give up possession just for the sake of trying to force something. We are square 1-1 here in the men's final as Pikamumpaka tries to feed one through to the runner in Butterfield, but that was picked off midair by Badunas, and now it's controlled by Smith for Caledon. Lays it off for Badunas, tried to hit Smith on the return. But Stojanovic thought about letting it roll out. His teammates urge him to keep it in, so he does play on. Stojanovic delivers the ball towards the 18, flicked on by Brian, but the call coming against the Celtic forward, and it'll be a free kick for Caledon.
Hey, everybody. Hey. Stop. 5 minutes on. Relax.
Badunas playing it ahead. Pikamumpaka returns with the matching header, and now Medwin has to shake off the challenge of Avrere, who comes up with the ball for Celtic. Dasa, Panino, that's Piccoli there for Celtic, as he draws it back for Stojanovic. Butterfield, touched ahead. Asabre fights off the initial challenge from Badunas, takes it towards the corner, banks it off the Caledon player, and that'll be a corner kick here for Celtic. As it went off the shins of Pickenen. And now it'll be Butterfield setting up to take the corner kick as we approach the 40th minute of action. We are into the 40th minute of action. Butterfield setting up for an outswinger. Celtic looking to threaten from the corner. Cross delivered in. Hammered away by Medwin. A chance for Butterfield to win it midair. He does. Pays a bit of a price for it. The play continuing on as Reed knocks it down for his teammate. Controlled by Pickenen, who in turn lays it over to Panino. His pass partially blocked. Latham Brown faked a hand, and in the end it was called back because of a pull on the back of Reed, who's got the equalizer in this match for Caledon. So they'll prepare to take a free kick just inside the center circle on the attacking side of half, with Cameron Medwin on the ball. Badunas into the penalty area to try get a header on here. The big center back. Medwin plays the ball towards his center back, but the delivery not quite on par. There's a volley attempt from Robertson. Played on. Harrington off his line, charges that one out. Loose ball. Caledon try control it after the volley attempt came from Michael Rinzema. He came out of nowhere for that chance, and now it's with Latham Brown. Lays it off for Medwin. One-time shot, one bounce to Harrington, and now the veteran Celtic keeper will fall on it to secure possession. Harrington came off his line with confidence when he put that punch into it, and there he gets a good punt, but it's met by the header of Badunas. And now Celtic control. And a chance for us to remind you that Ontario Soccer values fair play, and we share this common passion with our partners from Respect in Sport, the leading e-learning platform for the prevention of bullying, abuse, harassment, and discrimination. Learn more about their programs and start your Respect education journey today at respectgroupinc.com. As Celtic playing a long ball up the pitch and causing some pressure there with the opportunity. I believe it was Avrere, and he did well to win his team a corner kick. Actually, check that. In that sequence, it was Andrew Bryan making the play for Celtic. So they'll set up for an in-swinger here as Julian Piccoli over to the far corner to take this kick here in the 43rd minute of action. 6 green sweaters inside the penalty area with Yoseki lurking on the outside for anything that pops out. Piccoli plays the cross in, headed on, what a save! Matthew Grant parries that away after the header came from Andrew Bryan, and Celtic nearly press in front, if not for some spectacular goalkeeping by Matthew Grant. Another corner kick to come here, as Piccoli will take it once again, this time setting up for an outswinger. Tremendous header by Andrew Bryan. Better save from Matthew Grant. Piccoli sets up. Corner, that one dipped across the back of the goal line and out for a goal kick. As taking a bit of a knock on the back was Rinzema, but he'll pop right back up and we'll restart action with the goal kick. And we'll restart with Celtic looking to make a trio of substitutions here, including bringing back into play their goal scorer, Joey Kewen. Jethro Pang also coming into this match, making his debut today. And Panagiotis Manginas coming in as well for Celtic. But Kewen, the man up front to target for the team in green and white, as they look to to push back in front after having Caledon equalize. With just minutes remaining here in the first half. We're into the 45th minute of action. And we'll wait to see how much added time will be tacked on from the fourth official. Wouldn't anticipate more than maybe 2 minutes at most. As Grant takes the free kick, or the goal kick, Headed back by Celtic. Robertson tracks down for Caledon. Fights off the challenge, takes the ball up the touchline, but can't thread the needle in play, and it's out for a throw-in. David Barry indicates 1 minute of added time. We wait for the official indication from the fourth. Piccoli. Throw, tries to pick out Pang with it, but it's picked off by Robertson as he fights off the challenge, and a bit of pushing and shoving there from Jethro Pang as he tries to make an immediate impact. He's getting a little bit under the skin of Tarek Robertson. Pang with a little bit of a smile at the end of that exchange. So 1 minute indeed to be added on here as Dasa plays that one out, and Caledon will get a throw in here. As we approach the halftime whistle here at the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022.
How much time do we have at halftime? Halftime? Yeah. 15.
Robertson.
Back, please.
Headed on by Yoseki. Controlled by Stojanovic. And there's the halftime whistle. And at the break, these two teams evenly matched. And the score on the board, square 1-1. Between Gloucester Celtic and Caledon United FC. Folks, stay tuned. Second half action coming up. You're tuned in to the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022.
Well, that one we got to
It begins with a ball. Two teams, two nets, that ball, and a love of everything between the lines. But the game is more. The game is you giving every last breath to finish the sprint. The game is that last ounce of strength that pours out of you as you stretch to save your team. The game is questioning yourself over and over again until you find a way forward. Your personal best today is your challenge for tomorrow. Giving everything now is only knowing how much further you can go. The laces we tighten are the ones that bind us together. Entering the huddle as a player and leaving as a team. Play because you love it. Inspire because it's in you. Unite because it's in us. Ontario Soccer.
What will tomorrow look like? Will it be what you expected? Or something you never could have predicted? Will it be frightening? Or exciting? Is it the reason you can't sleep at night? Or the reason you get up in the morning? Tomorrow will be all of these things. With Hub, you have a partner today who supports you as you write your tomorrow. And we will protect you when you get there. Because the truth is, tomorrow is a gift. And we want you to be ready for it.
The Active Start course is for anyone involved in soccer who wants to better support a child ages 3 and 4 years old. Those taking the course will learn how to engage children through soccer with age-appropriate, fun and safe soccer activities. The aim of these soccer activities is to become familiar with a soccer ball, while being in a child-friendly environment and connecting with a significant adult in their life. Come be a part of helping kids fall in love with the game. The C License course is the first step into the Canada Soccer Coaching License stream. This course will take you towards all of the Canada Soccer Coach licenses. You will learn the role of the coach, how to plan a session safely, use coaching methodology to provide feedback to players and improve their decision making. Entry to this course requires a Learn to Train or Soccer for Life. This is a major step for coaches to help their players develop to higher levels of the game in Canada. The Learn to Train course is for people who want to take the first step towards becoming a trained coach in Ontario. This is one of the courses that will teach you training activities in small-sided games for U9 and U12 girls and U10 and U12 boys. Coaches who successfully complete Learn to Train, along with other required courses of Make Ethical Decisions, Respect in Sport, and Making Headway, will be qualified to train at the recreational and development level. This is the start for any coach to understanding all areas of long-term player development. Video 10, Analytical Activity, Creating Space. This video will demonstrate the importance of an analytical activity and how to create one based on the area of the field you are working within.
Okay boys, so we're going to look at an analytical activity here. We're going to look at creating space. So the ball's going to start with our neutral player. So we have two neutral players on either end. Neutral player is going to play in to a green player to receive the ball to start with. And freeze. The green players are now going to look to either combine together, so could you play him the ball? Okay, and then we're looking to score by getting the ball to our neutral player. Once the ball's gone into that neutral player, greens is still in possession. Can you get the ball, greens? And freeze. If the orange win the ball, so you play a ball to there, okay, they've won it. Now orange are in possession, play to a neutral player, and now we'll start again. So orange are now in possession to score a point. Can you receive the ball? Combined. Can you get it to the neutral? And freeze. If the ball goes out of the field, let's grab a ball that's around the area, grab the closest ball, and we'll start the game with a passing. Ball to me. Any questions? Neutral player starts with a ball. You can play to the team of your choice. Play.
In this analytical activity, we will be working on how to coach players to create space. The coach will use an activity to demonstrate how to properly teach players to create space using interventions and a variety of coaching methodology.
That's an orange ball. Orange restart. Freeze. Stand still. Okay, ball back into the neutral player. So at the moment, okay, orange, we're on a pretty straight line. Okay, what's your name? Danny's gone short. So if Danny's gone short, how do you think, what would be a good option for you? To go long, good. So as Danny's gone short, I'm looking for you to stretch the field here. And I just want you to get on the dark side of our green player here. So now he's got to turn and look at you. But now if you've come out here, okay, so I've started in here. Danny, go back to where you were. Okay, Danny goes short, I go long. Okay, now you've got two options. Could you play to Danny, who's tight, or could you play, can I step in for me? Could you play to my back foot there to allow me to then penetrate into there? Let's go back in there. Let's give that a go. So we're just going to rehearse here. So as you go short, you've gone long. Go. Good. Yes. Good. Play on. Good. And freeze. Good. So I like it. You've kept possession. Now, as you've seen, he's come short, Danny. You've gone long, which now potentially will allow you to play that penetrating ball. All good? Okay. Oh, let's go live from here. Play, go.
Watch how the coach shows their players how to create space on and off the ball.
Green ball. Green ball.
I go long, you go short.
Orange ball. It already gone out. It already gone out. Orange ball.
In the Ontario is pleased to welcome SportCheck, Canada's largest sports retailer, as its official sporting goods retail partner. Both partners have the goal of inspiring Ontarians to live healthy, active lifestyles by making sport and activity more fun, approachable, and inclusive. With a vast assortment of apparel and equipment and the very best athletic brands in the world, SportCheck strives to help athletes and enthusiasts of all levels succeed. Find what moves you at sportcheck.ca. Well, an entertaining, exciting, eventful first half sees both teams equal at the break, 1-1 on the scoreboard. It was Joey Kewen who opened the scoring for Gloucester Celtic in their bid for their fourth men's championship at the MilkUP Ontario Cup in the past 9 years, 9 attempts. But responding midway through the half on what came from a bit of a mental gaffe from Gloucester keeper Corey Harrington, across from the foot of Julian Latham Brown, finished off by the header of Saja Reed, and Caledon equalized to make it 1-1. That's all the scoring through the first half of play. We'll see which squad can advance on here, as at stake in this match, a berth at national championships in October. Whichever squad wins this game will represent Ontario and fly our provincial flag proudly at the national championships this October. Gloucester Celtic will get set to defend the goal to our broadcast right, working right to left across your screen. And Caledon, in their team huddle, will defend the goal to our left. Matthew Grant tending the goal for Caledon, and man, he made a tremendous save in the late stages of that first half to ensure this game stayed tied 1-1. And Grant showing a little bit of confidence and charisma there as he kind of jiggied his way over the half line, showing no ill effects from the stinger he picked up a little bit earlier in the match, as our match officials prepare to come back onto the pitch, led by the man in the middle, David Barry. Gloucester Celtic huddle up for one more quick team talk as we prepare for the second half kickoff under the lights here at the Ontario Soccer Centre Stadium Field on a beautiful night in Vaughan, Ontario. My name's Nico Cardarelli. Big shout out to everyone behind the scenes from Ontario Soccer for the hard work that's gone into this weekend, especially on the live stream broadcast side of it. Our technical crew doing a great job coming together here today, and of course everyone from the competitions division as well, our match officials department for the great work they've done, all the photo coverage, all the volunteers and field support, and of course led here today by the president of Ontario Soccer, Peter Agruso. Great to have him here in attendance as David Barry prepares to get us underway for the second half of action. Joey Kewen stands over top the ball, set to kick us off. As it'll be Gloucester Celtic to start the second half of action here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Gloucester Celtic looking for their 4th championship in the past 9 attempts. What a decade it would be. Caledon looking for their 2nd club championship here at the MilkUP Ontario Cup finals today. And here we go, second half of action now underway in the men's final at the MilkUP Ontario Cup. Celtic playing the ball out to the far flank. Piccoli tries to play it into the penalty area. Bit of a mishit on the clearance attempt, but then backed up on the good second effort there by Pickenen, and the danger cleared away. Controlled now by Manginas as he lays it off for Yoseki. Manginas gets it back, and in turn goes to Bikamumpaka. Bikamumpaka lays it off to Stojanovic, and just like we saw through much of the first half, Gloucester Celtic patient in their possession as they start to march up the pitch. That ball played back for Dasa. Lays it off of Rare, trying to fight through the challenge. It finds its way to Asabre. He tries the left-footed strike, but that got blocked. And now Latham Brown trying to take off. He's pulled back by Asabre, and that'll be a free kick for Caledon. Nothing more than the free kick as David gets set to take it. As David puts the right foot into the ball, and it's met by the Celtic head of Dasa. Avrer fights through a couple of challenges on his back, but he does well to punch it over to Piccoli. Tries to pick out Kewen with the run, but Badunas there to head it away, and it's out for a Celtic throw. Close option in Yoseki. They opt to play it over to Kewen from the toss. Kewen tries to volley it back to the thrower, but Badunas gets his right foot into it and sends that one deep inside Celtic territory where it's picked up by Stojanovic. Bikamumpaka starts to lead them back up to the half, and he'll play a left-footed ball forward, which finds Yoseki, quickly taken off his foot, picking in over to Smith, who in turn plays it backwards for Robertson. Robertson threads it through as it's controlled by Panino. Panino taking a knock on his back, but he gives up the throw, and Celtic will get to toss it in just across the half line. Back to Stojanovic as he looks forward for an option, delivers a right-footed ball intended for Avrer. It never made it to the destination, and now Pang fighting through that challenge, and a nice job by Jethro Pang to win the throw-in for Celtic. Movement off the ball, but Robertson gets to it first for the defending squad in Caledon. Panino tries to bank it off Piccoli, turns it over, and now Julian Piccoli starts to work the flank, only to be met by that well-timed tackle from Tarek Robertson. Celtic looking for a throw-in option into the attacking third. Avrer takes it towards the corner, tries to dance back and finds a teammate there, but possession turned away. And now Robertson breaks out for Caledon with speed. Oh, he's met by the challenge of Stojanovic, who says it was my shoulder. Yes, but he didn't get it on the shoulder of the opposing player, and Robertson wins the free kick for Caledon. Smart tactical foul there for Stojanovic, but Caledon looked to catch Celtic off guard. Unable to do so that time after the ball got played ahead for Reed. Switched into the middle. Kewen unable to get to that. David hits it backwards. And now possession turned over. Kewen feeds it ahead for Avrer. Draws to his right foot. Tries to feed it for Yoseki, but that one broken up. And now it's played back to the Caledon keeper, Grant. Grant touching that one ahead. Latham Brown tries to get a header to it. Challenged, and good work that time by Mangianis as he'll earn a free kick for Gloucester. Mangianis plays it after some claims that The free kick was taken from the wrong spot. Play continuing with Stojanovic touching it out wide. Piccoli. Stojanovic. Bikamumpaka. Great job by our match officials in today's game as Yoseki feeds a good ball through, but unable to corral it cleanly for the shot was Pang. Avrer takes it down tight to the goal line, and he earns a corner kick for Gloucester after a well-timed slide tackle on the ball by Pickenen. So we'll see what Celtic can do with the corner kick attempt. One of their best chances of the match that didn't convert came towards the end of the first half from a corner, if not for a spectacular save by Matthew Grant. Setting up for the outswinger, 51st minute of action. Piccoli delivers the ball through, bit of a scramble there as Latham Brown knocks it out, and we'll get another corner kick here for Gloucester. Julian Latham Brown there for the defensive clearance as Julian Piccoli gets set to take this corner kick. Asabre providing some movement towards the back post. 6 Celtic players looking for reception. Crossed in. The keeper went out to challenge, but it's off a Celtic head. I believe it was Avrer who got there. And out for a goal kick. Grant takes the goal kick short as he plays it out for Badunas. Room to carry it, and now he supplies a long ball up the flank, but Reed starting the run just a step late, and he was never able to catch up to it. Heavy delivery on the ball from Badunas, but Reed showing his appreciation for the intent, giving him the thumbs up. Stojanovic touches out wide. Piccoli draws back, uses Stojanovic. He'll be closed down by Pickenen as Stojanovic has to fight off the challenge, and he gives possession away. It'll be a throw-in now for Caledon. Reed slowing things down. As again, we are square 1-1 here, the 53rd minute of action. You're tuned into the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup. Robertson. Panino can't control it for long as Yoseki takes it now for Celtic. Yoseki tracking to the near touchline. Lays that one off for Maginas. He ends up giving it away as now it's controlled by David. Caledon turned back towards their own goal as Renzema uses Badunas. And now it's touched out wide to Robertson. Trying to keep it in along the far flank, but unable to do so was Pickenen, and we'll get a throw-in coming here for Celtic. Played back for Stojanovic. He's got Bikamumpaka with him and uses the man. As the veteran center back for Gloucester Celtic takes the ball up to the half and delivers it forward for Avrer. Lays it off as now it's picked up by Manginas. He looks to cross in. Oh, just out of the range of Kewen, and it'll be controlled by Robertson defensively. They get it only as far as Piccoli, who looks to service one back into the area. That headed away by Badunas. Bikamumpaka steps up with a left-footed touch. Appeals for an offside, but Pang in a fine position to make a play, but Caledon there to get the clearance. Now Harrington up almost to the half line to keep the pressure up here. Manginas for Asabre from the corner, crosses, but unable to get to it. We're Celtic, headed by Robertson, only to the top of the 18, where Dasa steps over it and then hauls his man down, getting a fistful of Quante Smith. And that'll be a caution shown to the veteran Justin Dasa here in the 55th minute of play. So that'll slow things down a little bit, and a free kick now for Caledon United FC. After some quality officiating there from David Barry, issuing the caution to Justin Dasa. as Dasa picking up the caution for Gloucester Celtic. Now Barry having a word with the Gloucester bench. As Phil Sangster, Matt Williams, Robert Murphy, and Matt Gagnon voicing their displeasure, but no doubt about it, the tactical foul committed by Dasa to try stop the fast break counter and the caution issued. All right, so we restart play from the free kick, and it's secured by Brinzema for Caledon. Goes back to the keeper, Grant, who played the free kick. Brinzema. Yoseki trying to close him down. Played ahead for Medwin. Flicked on by Reed. He dummies over it, and it's turned over, and now Kewen takes it for Celtic. Kewen laying it off for Asabre. He's got time to control. Kewen playing in more of a midfield position right now than his typical striker role. We'll see if they change that. As stepping over the ball was Stojanovic. He thought he had advantage, but in the end, issues a thumbs up to the match official, David Barry, for spotting the foul. And now Celtic look to open up the man out wide from the free kick. As Manginas takes it, left-footed cross into the penalty area, headed on target, but easy work there for the keeper, Grant, as Kewen got his head to it, but Grant in a position to make easy work of that attempt. All right idea for Gloucester. Kewen getting on the receiving end of that cross from Manginas, but quality goalkeeping from Matthew Grant made that save look easy. Celtic pressing again. Asabre can't win that aerial battle, and now it's cleared out on the volley by Brinzema. Picked up by Reed. Reed's got the goal for Caledon. He's got the ball at half, lays it off for Goodwin. Latham Brown was coming back from an offside position, but never made a play on the ball, so play continues on. Reed plays that one forward, but Harrington right at the edge of his box scoops that one. Stojanovic, controlled by Dasa, pitches that one up the field as Avrer looks for an option and draws it back for Bikamumpaka. Playing it ahead, controlled by Oseki. Checking for an option, lays it over to Avrer. Avrer cutting in, trying to draw to his right foot. Now controlled by Asabre. He gets closed down and he draws a foul and a free kick here for Gloucester Celtic from a dangerous position on the pitch, almost center to goal. A little bit left of center if you're facing the goal. But from a range maybe about 28, 30 yards out, certainly a range where this could be a direct attempt on net or a little chip into the box for a flick on, a volley, or a header. Let's find out, as right now it's Bezic Avrer, the lone Celtic player, over top the ball, but now a couple more players track in as decoys, including Jethro Pang. He quickly steps back out. Bikamumpaka also in the vicinity, but it's going to be Avrer. A five-man wall sets up to defend the free kick.
And then outside of the wall.
Avrer, right foot off the wall. That one out for a corner. 59th minute of play. Was Gloucester Celtic try for the direct shot on from the free kick, but off a Caledon player who's slow to get up here. And we'll continue with the corner kick after the injured player is either able to continue or subbed out. Still can't quite make out. It looks like it was Quante Smith who seems to have shaken off the knock, and now Gloucester will set up for an outswinger. Piccoli getting set to take the corner. Julian Piccoli, Gloucester Celtic, looking to press in front. The outswinger delivered, drops past David, but a foul committed by the attackers on Celtic and a free kick here. But it actually may have been Drawer David who took the initial knock, and he continues to labor a little bit. And the medical attendant will have to go check him out, as it looks like Caledon may have to make a substitution here with David. So a free kick to come for Caledon United FC, and a chance for us to remind you that we want to say thank you to Ontario soccer partner Soccer Express for their first-class support. As Canada's premier soccer apparel and equipment dealer, Soccer Express has everything needed to take your game to the next level. Visit soccerx.com to check out the latest gear from Adidas, Nike, Puma, Admiral, and more. So David will be subbed out of the match, or maybe not subbed out, but certainly taken out of the match as a precaution. Celtic gets set to make a couple of changes along with Caledon. They've got 3 reserves up, and David's actually going to check himself back into play here shortly after Grant takes the free kick. So good to see that draw David back on the field for Caledon as Badonas steps up, heads that right in the air. Medwin misplayed it off the initial header, but they're able to control it with Panino. Panino fights off the challenge, dribbles his way towards Pang, and is able to fight through that as well, only to have his pass then picked off. Controlled now by Avrer. He lays that one out wide. Celtic turning inside the attacking side of half, looking to switch the ball. As Asabre presenting the option, he pulls it down to his left foot, shot right on. Grant mishandles it, and it's out for a corner kick. So a bit of a miscue there after a maybe somewhat unpredictable strike from Asabre. It caught Grant on his toes. Tried to make the toe save. He did, but then couldn't track the ball before it skidded across the line for the corner. In swinger being set up here by Celtic. Was a good cross played into the 6, but headed away on the defensive effort. Only as far as Stojanovic, who tracks it back inside the attacking third. Banks it off of Pickenen and out for a Celtic throw-in. The initial clearance on the defensive header coming from, I believe it was Cameron Medwin. Celtic getting set to make 2 changes here as Cameron Butterfield and Andrew Bryan get set to come back into this match. And Asabre and Pang will come out, both of them having a good impact in their time on the field. Andrew Bryan, he's had a positive impact throughout this match for Celtic, and well, he may look to have something happen here with possession into the attacking third. From the throw-in, they play it back, crossed into the penalty area. Bryan goes high up in the air, but can't get a header to it. And now it's cleared as far as Yoseki, who tees up the right-footed volley, but that one curved away from goal and out for the goal kick. And now we'll get a trio of changes here for Caledon. As coming into the match, it'll be Dominic D'Agostino, Norden Gooden, and Kevin Omakua. As Medwin, Latham Brown, and Pickenen will come out. Celtic are going to pull off a change here as well, bringing Sanders back into play as he'll take out Dasa. As Justin Dasa picking up the yellow card, but also providing a solid presence in the defensive midfield position while Sanders was on the bench. 64th minute of action as Grant kicks us off. We're still square 1-1 here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. Charging like a bull in a china shop is playing it forward. Grant running on. Reed. Oh, Caledon's bench is furious with this. As the initial attempt, as a caution shown there to one of the Caledon coaches. Now they're arguing that Reed was onside, and maybe so, but no question about it. The other attacker who was in position made a play on the ball, kind of dummied as if he was going to fake make the play. But it was enough of a gesture to pull himself into the action. And certainly offside, the right call there. Tough to sell that to Caledon, but Gloucester holding a tight line, and they catch them flat-footed in transition. Tough break because Reed definitely curved his run, but It was the other player up front in the newly brought on Gooden who couldn't quite keep himself on side. And now Celtic have possession with Bikamumpaka. He plays that over to Mangiannis as it's controlled by Avrer. Stojanovic looking up the field for an option, draws back, lays it off for Sanders. He's got time and space in front of him, brings it ahead here. Sanders chips it off, gives it away. He intended for Butterfield, but now it's controlled by Panino. Panino taking on Butterfield as he drives wide. Two defenders on his back, and Panino turns it over. Excuse me, he gets the foul call to keep possession as Yoseki showing some frustration there. From the free kick, Caledon looking for a man up the field, and Reed. He's down on the ground right now, claiming he got clipped on the back of his heels. And Bikamumpaka there to make sure that nothing more to come as the medical assistant coming out to check on Saja Reed, who's got the goal for Caledon in this match. As he pulls up with a bit of a stinger. 66th minute of action. As we'll restart play with a free kick for Gloucester, I believe. Both teams will take this opportunity to grab a bit of a refresher. As Joey Kewen looking to provide that spark for Celtic. He got them in front early in the match, inside the opening 20 minutes of play, on a goal where he was sprung loose. A brilliant flick-on header by Avrer saw him through. And Kewen one-on-one with the keeper put it home, as we've seen him do time and time again. Caledon never quit, though. They continued to battle. And after a mental gaffe from the Celtic keeper Harrington, a few moments later, it was a cross from Latham Brown that met the header of Saja Reed, and with Harrington scrambling back into position, never quite had himself set. And Reed's header found the back of the net to draw equal. And that's all the scoring so far here through 68 minutes of play. It's good to see Reed back on his own feet and able to walk off here. So hopefully nothing serious there for the Caledon forward and Reed. Looks like Reed's going to need a substitution here, so Caledon will get set to bring on a reserve.
10 out, 11.
And getting set to
Come on, Roddy.
make his debut in this match is Rodrigo Quiroga. So we'll see what Quiroga can do in place of Reed. Gloucester take the free kick short. Bikamumpaka plays it out wide to Stojanovic. Looking up the pitch for an option, delivers a quality ball to the top of the 18. Kewen tries to head it back. Yoseki takes control, tries to step around his man. Right-footed shot, but that one lofting over top the target and out for a goal kick.
Dominic!
Nice idea there from Novello Yoseki. Just unable to rein it in to ensure that ended up on net. Good job by Kewen to win that aerial challenge as well. Grant gets set to take the goal kick here for Caledon. As he puts his right foot through the ball, and now a challenge for possession through the midfield occurs. It's knocked down by Mangiannis and then flicked on by Avrer. Kewen running onto it, slide tackle, lunging from a distance, but getting the ball first was Michael Rinzema. And it'll go for a Gloucester Celtic throw-in. Mangiannis tosses in. Brian tries to see it through to Kewen, but that's knocked out for another Celtic throw-in. For a long throw here is Brian. Lots of power, tosses it towards the 6-yard box, but headed away by Badanas. As Yoseki tries to pluck it out of the air, and he has possession. Maginas takes it towards the touchline, off a Caledon player, out for a Celtic throw. A reminder that Sports Engine is the official technology partner of Ontario Soccer and the leading provider of sport relationship management software for youth and amateur sport. Check out sportsengine.com/solutions to see how they can help keep your club running in stride on and off the pitch this season. Another long throw in there from Celtic, but the header goes wide of target and out for a goal kick. As we're inside the final 20 minutes of match play, and still nothing separating these two squads here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup 2022. We've already had 2 of the 3 matches today go to penalty kicks. Heck, the morning match almost did the same, if not for a late dramatic game winner for London Alliance FC Mustangs. That final, as that one cleared away by Manchinas, and it'll track out for a throw-in for Caledon deep in the attacking third. They haven't had too much possession here in the offensive end of things in the second half. Couple of opportunities now and then, but the bulk of the play going Celtics' way. Now they'll have to defend here. A long throw-in being set up by David as he sends players into the penalty area. David with the long toss, headed away by Sanders, and now it'll be picked up by Bryant. He's got room to run. Check that. That's Avrer. Avrer plays it over as Yoseki takes control now. Yoseki has a man out wide, and he uses them in Piccoli. Piccoli crosses it in, one-time touch, headed away by Badanas, and now it'll be picked up once again by Piccoli. Sanders tries to cut into the middle, peels back out wide. Sanders plays it forward. Nice job by Avrer to control. He crosses in looking for Brian, but that's headed away on the defensive effort by Drawer David. And Caledon clear that pressure, and now they're looking for a potential counterattack. Long shot, as it was just one player up there for Caledon, but he wins the free kick as Nordo Gooden hauled down, and it'll be a free kick opportunity now for Caledon inside the attacking half. Certainly too far for an attempt anything of quality on target. It would have to be something really special to beat Harrington from here. More likely a cross coming into the penalty area. As Quiroga stands over top the ball, takes the free kick. Harrington off his line and collects that just in the nick of time, with Rinzema stepping up to try challenge. Ball out of play. It'll go for a Caledon throw-in. As Rinzema was a little slow to get up after that interaction with the keeper Harrington. Still trying to shake it off, and as we approach the 74th minute of play, he'll drop to a knee and receive treatment here, as he may have a problem with either his knee or lower body. Certainly, he is favoring the right side of his lower body, and hopefully nothing serious. Actually, they're checking out his left knee now. Could be a groin issue. Let's not speculate. Let's just hope a speedy return to the match for the Caledon player in Michael Renzema, as he'll have to be pulled off the pitch at least momentarily. Here in the 74th minute of action. Renzema back up on his own feet, but a little gingerly as he tries to shake it off. You can tell he's laboring just a little bit as he makes his way to the sideline. So it looks like Caledon will get set to bring Cameron Medwin back into the match.
Just gonna go ahead and sub.
As Rinzema able to make his way to the touchline, and he'll take a seat on the bench for further treatment. And in the meantime, Cameron Medwin makes his way back onto the field of play. So we restart here with a throw in for Caledon along the far sideline, about 10 yards inside their own half, as they try take a little more time off the clock. And could we be destined for penalty kicks for the third time in 4 matches here today? Let's find out. As Caledon try to play the ball through, picked off by Sanders, controlled now by Oseki. He's got room to run with it, carries it ahead, sends a man on the run, but the ball lacking the quality. It actually ricochets over to Avrer, who's then clipped by Badunas. Celtic won a card there to the big center back for Caledon, and it is a caution in the 76th minute issued to Stavros Badunas for Caledon as he tripped up Bezic Avrer, and Avrer has won a free kick for Celtic in a threatening position. An opportunity to go direct on target or to chip one in here, as 3 Celtic players standing in the vicinity of the ball right now, including the veteran Kieran Sanders. 5 Celtic players inside or around the penalty area right now for potential reception on a chip. A 4-man wall sets up defensively for Caledon, as Caledon United FC tried to defend the free kick. Sanders, the lone man, over top the ball for Celtic. Tees it up, shot right on, one bounce on target, and an easy save there for Matthew Grant, who was never fooled by that run-up from Kieran Sanders. 77th minute of play. Grant punts it out. One bounce across the half, controlled by Sanders, as Celtic look to build up once again. Piccoli, he plays a good ball ahead. Badunas gets to it first. A trio of Celtic players, and it's Avrer who comes away with it. Plays it in for Kewen, tries to spin off the man. Nothing doing that time, as they only get it as far as Yoseki. Yoseki plays it over to Avrer. Avrer gets in the way of the initial clearance by David, as stepping into it was Quiroga, and now it's controlled by Gooden. His ball, trying to pick out the player making the run in Omakua, but he was offside, and now Celtic take the free kick quickly. Piccoli looking to press here, looking to catch Caledon on their heels. Piccoli pulls back.
Come on!
Stojanovic over to Piccoli.
Come on!
Tries to switch the pitch, but that's headed away by David. Quiroa unable to win that challenge as Avrer comes away with it. Bekamumpaka. Yoseki feeds it through for Butterfield. He's into the penalty area. Butterfield draws back for Kewen from his left foot. Gets the shot. It trickles. Oh, how did that stay out? Matthew Grant somehow kept that out, as crashing the goal for the opportunity was Andrew Bryan. It pinballed around and went off of Grant and stayed out. Oh, Celtic coming so close to going in front. Sanders. Manginas. Left-footed ball to switch to the far flank, as Piccoli tries to pick it up. After the mishit defensively, he takes possession. Butterfield chips that one over. Bryan crosses in. That was Avrer looking for Bryan, but it's out, and it'll be a Celtic throw-in. Well, a good sight here for Caledon as Sajar Reed gets set to come back into the match with the next substitution opportunity. And of course, with the final 10 minutes of play coming up, time for coaches to potentially think about who can make an impact either late in the match or from the penalty spot. They'll also bring back in Masuta as Celtic play the ball in towards the penalty area. Tracking it is Bryan. He commits a foul and a free kick now for Caledon United. Grant gets set to take the free kick. Right-footed boot into the ball across the half where it's met by the head of Sanders. Flicked on by Yoseki. Aerial challenge. Brian hauled down. Hewen fights through. Butterfield beats the keeper. They can't get it through. It's blocked. It's a handball. It's a penalty kick. And it's a straight red card. Denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, David is ejected from the match. He tries to protest that the hands were down by his side, but had he not flinched, that ball would have been in the back of the net. It was both Hewen and Brian in the vicinity for Celtic pressing. And here in the 81st minute of action in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup, Celtic will have a chance to press in front with a penalty kick. Andrew Bryan, the man at the spot for Gloucester Celtic, as Matthew Grant, the keeper for Caledon United FC. Grant has had a tremendous match so far in goal, and David visibly frustrated as he has to leave the field, and we won't proceed until he leaves the vicinity of play. A tough way for his night to end. Certainly deserved a better fate, but not much not much David could do in that situation. Ends up saving a goal by doing it, but clearly frustrated there. Thankfully, he didn't take his frustrations out on our field side microphone.
Come on, Matt.
A chance for a penalty kick to put them in front. Gloucester Celtic looking for their 4th title in the past 9 opportunities. And it'll be Andrew Bryan at the penalty spot against Matthew Grant. Bryan for Celtic. After the handball. Short run up. Drills it. And he buries it in. What a strike. What a well-taken penalty. As Bryan showing some love with the heart Selly, and he puts Celtic in front in the 82nd minute of action. It's 2-1 here in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup. Frustration for Caledon, elation for Gloucester, as Gloucester Celtic take the 2-1 lead on the penalty conversion by Andrew Bryan. He had been buzzing all game, and there he makes the impact with the go-ahead goal from the spot. Caledon making a couple substitutions, including bringing back on Saja Reed, as he's got their lone goal. Harrington right to the edge of his box to collect that one. Avrer pulls the ball down. He's got Yoseki as the overlap, chips it ahead for him. Yoseki holds it down at the goal line, dances over top the ball, and now peels it to the corner before laying it off for Avrer. Avrer dishes off for Hewen, who helped draw that penalty. Nice job by Hewen to lead that charge alongside Bryan, which led to the penalty kick decision. Yoseki crosses in. That's blocked away. Appeals for a handball, but nothing doing that time, that's for sure. As Godwin plays it forward, and then hauled down was Quiroa. Medwin there, played the initial ball. Now he takes the free kick and plays it up the line, but Reed unable to catch up to that one, and it's corralled by Corey Harrington, the Gloucester Celtic keeper. He punts that one out, picked up by Avrer. Yoseki plays it back to Avrer as they'll hold possession here. Paginas, Yoseki, Avrer. After Hewen laid it back to him, Avrer working up the touchline, gets around Badunas, tries to cut his way into the penalty area. He's knocked off the ball. Good tackle that time by Smith as Quante Smith stepped into his lane, and then a late slide tackle there by Manginas, and he commits the foul on the back of Quiroa. We'll take this opportunity to remind you that soon another deserving team will engrave their name into Ontario Cup history and receive their medals and hoist the beautiful Ontario Cup trophy. created by Nothers, the award store. For more than 50 years, Nothers, the award store, has been a leading supplier of awards and recognition products across Ontario. As there's a volley right on and a huge save by Harrington as the ball fell to the foot of Reed. He got all of that one with the volley, but it was straight at Harrington and the veteran keeper equal to that test. As I was mentioning, Nothers leading the way with recognition products across Ontario, offering complete assistance from program concept planning all the way to product delivery. See how they can help your organization at nothers.com. Loose ball as it's picked up now by Sanders, but he commits the foul on the back of D'Agostino, and it'll be a free kick for Caledon as we're inside the final 5 minutes of match play, and now Caledon need to show some urgency and desperation in terms of trying to find an equalizer. And remember, they are a man short because of the straight red card issued to David. So down a man, down a goal. Let's see what they do. Is that free kick played right in on target, but Harrington there to scoop it up. He quickly throws it out for Avrer. Avrer trying to slow it down, now trying to speed it up as he takes it up the touchline. Tries to draw in Robertson, gets around the defender, and now Avrer has room to take on Smith. Dances over top the ball, tries to keep it away from the defender, falls to the turf, wants a call, nothing doing, and now Smith has a chance to transition for Caledon. Plays a good ball ahead, but Stojanovic meets it with the header, and then the subsequent pass intended from Masuta gets picked off. Avrer still down, but Celtic playing on here as Yoseki continues to march it forward. Yoseki loses his shin pad in the process as it's through the middle, and now he picks it up and scoops it back in his sock. Smart play there by Piccoli to play it out wide. Butterfield finds Kewen into the penalty area, but he's not going to force. He starts to track towards the corner to take a little more time off the clock here. Kewen ends up losing possession and then commits a slide tackle foul on the back to give up the free kick for Caledon. 87th minute of action. Caledon United FC 1, Gloucester Celtic 2. It's the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup, and there's a gaff and nearly an insurance marker for Celtic. Celtic complaining there should have been a call there against Grant, but after having a penalty kick awarded justifiably moments prior, maybe about 5 minutes ago, they weren't going to be gifted that one. As Brian tried to get his second of the match after converting from the penalty spot, but the ball rolled wide. The Caledon keeper, Matthew Grant, who was opening up out wide, and he had to scramble back to make that stop. He's laboring a little bit. He took a bit of a stinger in that play. Ball played ahead, intended for Badanas. It's picked off as Yoseki takes it now for Gloucester. Yoseki, he gets clipped from the back, and that's going to be a caution issued here to Rodrigo Quiroga in the 88th minute of play. Joey Kewen shouting to the bench saying he's done. He needs a change, so he drops down to his backside, and he'll have the opportunity to potentially be switched out. And it looks like they'll bring on the defensive presence of Adam Davies to replace either Yoseki or Kewen. Looks like Yoseki's going to continue on after taking that challenge from the back. And it'll be Kewen who will be subbed out of the match. Waiting to see how much added time we'll have here as we're into the 89th minute of play. Heard David Barry say it could be as many as 6 minutes as Kewen now subbed out. What a match for Joey Kewen for Gloucester Celtic as he once again scores in a MilkUP Ontario Cup final, and he has put his team, or contributed to putting his team in a position to claim their 4th title in the past 9 years and put themselves in the discussion of dynasty. in this men's division. Sanders takes the free kick, drills it to the back post, held by the gloves of Grant, who quickly throws it out. Caledon know they have to press, but there they cough up possession as it's picked up by Oseki. He's got advantage. Fakes the shot, now pulls to the right foot, off the defender and in, and that'll secure it for Gloucester Celtic. They will win their fourth title championship in the past 9 years, and this is a dynasty that they have built out in Ottawa as Gloucester Celtic now up 3-1 in the 90th minute of action. It would take a miraculous comeback now by Caledon United to change this result. But Yoseki will get the goal to put Gloucester up 3-1 and in a brilliant position to claim their fourth title in 9 attempts. 6 minutes of added time to be played here, but with that last tally, that may have been the final nail in the coffin for Gloucester as Celtic look to claim the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup once again. Back-to-back titles for them it would be. And as we mentioned, 4 in 9 seasons. Just a tremendous accomplishment as both teams here are preparing to make substitutions. So Novello Yoseki does get the goal for Gloucester. And we're into added time. Caledon, they've really got to push everything forward now, down by 2. Masuda takes it towards the corner, tries to cross in, nothing doing, it's out for a goal kick. Gloucester trying to get some changes in here to slow things down. As Kieran Sanders will be taken out of the match, and he'll be replaced by Justin Dasa.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now within the 6 minutes of additional time added on.
Sanders making his way over to the touchline slowly, but he's getting there. And the wily veteran knowing that his team on the brink of doing something special. And now Sanders is going to draw a caution here for time wasting. As Barry warned him early on, and now he said, well, I've had enough of this. The time will be added back on, no doubt, and a caution issued there for Sanders, as now potentially a caution coming to the bench here for Gloucester, as their coach is getting a little bit lippy, and Barry containing the benches with the caution. It seems like a formality now, up by 2, Gloucester Celtic. Although 6 minutes of added time, and we're in the midst of it here. Butterfield, oh, he gets clipped. And that'll be a free kick for Celtic, and Caledon can't afford to do this. They're just going to lose their time here if they make these kind of silly fouls. Celtic happy to slow it down. Dasa over top the ball. He plays it short for Piccoli. As he takes it towards the corner, Piccoli tripped up, and once again, another free kick coming here, and once again, the yellow card comes out of the referee's pocket, and a caution issued there to the Caledon player committing the foul. Can't quite make out the number from here, but again, a bit of a formality at this point, is unless Caledon can get composed, the final result really just a matter of time here. 2 goals in the final, 15 minutes of match play for Gloucester Celtic, including one from the penalty spot to put them up 2-1. And now they lead 3-1, and Yoseki, who's got that 3rd goal, can't keep it in along the touchline. It's out for a goal kick. Yoseki lost his shin pad, which the referee was trying to tell him, your equipment's laying on the field there. And now one of his teammates hands it back to him and will restart the play after this substitution. Butterfield being switched out Peng will come back in as Jethro Peng relieves Cameron Butterfield, and Caledon take the kick short. Grant still laboring after a couple of knocks there in goal for Caledon. Smith, his long ball up the pitch, initially blocked, but then headed on. Badanas running after it. He can't quite catch it. Asabre takes it. They'll play that one up the field before it's turned over to Robertson. Into the middle of the pitch as it's controlled by D'Agostino. Ooh, foul on the back and a free kick to come here as Gooden got hauled down. And now let's see what Caledon can do. A goal from this set piece would make things interesting for the final few minutes, but they've got to find a way to capitalize on this set piece opportunity. Right now, two players standing over top the ball in Tarek Robertson, and the second player in Saja Reed, he actually tracked away. So it's just Robertson there for the free kick. Steps back off the ball, preparing to take the left-footed strike. Puts it right on target. Harrington bobbles it. Does well to juggle it midair. And, well, it nearly got past the keeper, Harrington, but a quick reflex reaction to knock it out of midair after he bobbled it. And the danger cleared out for the throw-in. Caledon take the throw quickly, flicked on, one bounce, and this time Harrington secures it as he makes the save, and he'll slow things down here for Gloucester Celtic. Harrington's kick high in the air, but not very far, doesn't even clear the half, as after the header from Pickenin played it backwards, it's now controlled by D'Agostino. Looking for an option up the pitch, touches it out wide as it's crossed into towards the penalty area over the head of Reed and controlled by Sabre. Yoseki, he's got the goal to make it 3-1. Sees Sabre on the overlap, and he'll take that one deep inside the attacking third, tracking towards the corner to take more time off the clock here. Sabre holding possession. Two Caledon defenders rub him off the ball, and now it's picked up by Caledon as they clear it out to the half, but only as far as Stojanovic. He's got thoughts of taking one from range, but he opts to lay it off for Pang. Pang crosses it in, looking for Sabre. He got a touch to it with the left foot, but couldn't corral it cleanly, and now Caledon able to clear it out to Badanas, who takes a bit of a knock on the back, and then he stomps at Pang, but the final whistle sounds, and that is it. Celtic taking exception to the end of the play there by Badanas as he clearly tried to stomp at the Celtic player. I said it was Pang. It was actually Manganius who was there. And despite getting the victory, Celtic heated with that cowardly effort by Badanas. Cooler heads will prevail, and congratulations to Gloucester Celtic, who claimed their fourth title in 9 years in the men's division of the MilkUP Ontario Cup. What an ending to a great day of action. Thank you again to our proud partners for today's event. Special recognition goes to our premier partners from Dairy Farmers of Ontario, who are presenting the MilkUP Ontario Cup. Dairy Farmers of Ontario proudly support youth soccer while driving awareness of the benefits of milk in a healthy and active lifestyle to help young athletes realize their untapped potential. We also extend our gratitude to our broadcast partners, Hub International Insurance Brokers, our premier partners, Toronto FC and CPL, our community partners, Sport Check, as well as Respect in Sport, SoccerX, Sports Engine, Nothers, and Nothers, the awards store. It's still heated down at field level. We'll stick with this just for now to ensure nothing crazy happens here, but a little bit of taunting from the victorious side, Celtic. A little bit of frustration from the defeated side, Caledon. They both put on a great show here today, but in the end, it's Gloucester Celtic as they affirm their spot as a dynasty with their fourth championship in the men's final of the MilkUP Ontario Cup over the last 9 attempts. Congratulations to both teams. Thank you to our technical crew behind the scenes. And of course, thank you to all of you for tuning in all day long to the MilkUP Ontario Cup. My name's Nico Cardarelli. We will be back next week on the 17th and 18th with 6 more finals as Celtic finally take the opportunity to celebrate here their 4th championship in the last 9 attempts. And Gloucester Celtic are in dynasty territory. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next weekend.